Okay, first of all, thank you to Coach Bandstra for having me today. I want to wish everybody happy New Year. Hope it's better than the last one. My name is Wojciech Andrzejczak. I'll be talking to you today about the defensive circuits as an alternative to the traditional warm-up, traditional stretch. A few words about myself. I've been mostly coaching overseas. I've been also involved in high school football in the state in New Jersey, Clifton, and I spent 2019 season with the Towson Tigers as a defensive quality control and assistant defensive line coach. But as I said, most of my experiences comes from coaching in Europe and all the way to China. Just to give you a bit of a context, when you coach overseas, you have 2, maybe 3 practices a week. Your age group, if you coach the senior players, they varies from 18-year-old to 30-something or even 40-something-year-olds. So we have guys who have school, with wife, kids, etc. So these guys sometimes are new to football, and we lead that to the next slide, right? We've always done it this way, and I think as a coach, we often are comfortable in our shell. We've done certain things because that's how we learn, but I believe that we have to sometimes question ourselves and ask ourselves the tough question: do we really get the best return on our investment on time, right? Because that's critical. Doesn't matter on game day. A couple of years ago, we've been coaching with Coach Jan Bedwell and Coach Montregarde, two air raid guys in Germany, in Allgäu Comets, and in air raid they don't really stretch that much. And so the head coach says, "Hey, this is how the offense is going to be. Warming up, I want you on defense to do something that matches us," and that's kind of get us thinking, right? So, with all those things, we decided, hey, we're gonna focus on what matters to us on game day, and that was for us. It was tackling and forcing turnovers, and if our players want some stretch, we tell them, hey, you need warm up, just show up two minutes earlier, get your ass there, and get your warm up done. With everything that I just said, you always have to be respectful to your role on the staff, because hopefully you have a supportive head coach, or if you're the head coach, you may consider that. Your DC may suggest it, but ultimately it's your head coach's program to run and make sure that some of that may be helpful. You may be able to implement it in some sort of season, in some part of the season. Okay. So for us, we want to improve the critical defensive skills, and it's one is as you guys know, it's winning turnover battle translates to 70-80% chances of winning a game, limiting big plays and tackling, and we always aim to have like 80% tackling efficiency. We believe that, and we saw it, that once we start with the circuit players and coaches also are more locked in. There was no chit chat that happens when they are stretching, and it also improves trust, because we like to mix them up, so they we often count to 1, 2, 3, and those guys they don't stay in the same positional group, so they work with different teammates, and it improves the chemistry and camaraderie. Also, our drills they progress as the season goes, so they don't go through it like as robots. We want to keep them a little bit of balance, provide some variety there, and we also want to be prescriptive in our practice. So, for example, if we have some issues with interceptions, we may slightly tilt there in our turnover circuits. If we, for example, face a heavy running team, we may more focus on the tackling, on the connection, acceleration, finish phase of the tackle. Again, how we set it up, we use the county fair structure. So again, we have a half of the field. We want to set up everything in pre-practice. So depending on your numbers, it may be 3 stations, 4 stations. We very often we go with like 3 drills, 2 rounds, and we spend 90 to 120 seconds at each of the stations. So that gives us a bit of 9 to 12 minutes total. But again, if you have the larger numbers in practice, you may have one or 2 stations of the same drill set up. As these guys progress, we often like to add music to it. Gets the juice flowing a little bit better, and it's a bit of a Tabata practice. So they have this 12, 15 seconds rotation period. In turnover circuits, of course, there's the great play by Mr. J.J. Watt. If DBs could catch, they would play receivers. I found this quote from Bill Belichick. I don't know if he really said that, but it's very, very true for us overseas. It's, if any guy can catch a ball, he's on the offensive side of the ball. And our main goal of the defensive turnover circuit is to make sure that our defensive players are comfortable playing with the ball, being around it, and making sure that they are they're used to making plays. So again, couple drills that we involved. We make simple interception drill where we just throw them the ball and they just catch, make sure they tuck it away high and tight. Football drill that we're going to discuss a little later. Fumble recovery, country or city, depending on the amount of traffic. If it's a country recovery, we just want them to scoop and score. If it's a lot of traffic around them, just get them in a fetal position. Covered big pile drill that I'll discuss later. It's simulation of a fighting for the ball, heavy traffic like working under the pile. Seattle punch and form tackle drill that offers you high return on investment. It's fumble forcing and form tackle, and Patriots 3-in-1. So that's an interception, forcing fumble, and fumble recovery drill that I will discuss further. So the first drill we're going to talk about is a very standard football drill. We have two guys separated, 5-7 yards, and a coach standing about 5, 7, maybe even 10 yards. He throws the ball. First guy tips it up high. Second guy catches it cleanly. If the guy cannot catch it, we still want him to scoop it from the ground. First guy, of course, has to understand that he has to block the coach, simulate it, making sure that P2, the second guy in line, he yells whatever the sound may be for the interceptions, fire, bingo, whatever he makes the return play. So it's very, very basic drill, but as you'll see on the film, it's not that obvious for players who have just started playing football in their 20s, right? So we want to make sure that they learn it, that they execute it with all the details. Next drill we like to do is the Seattle punch and form drill. We have the ball carrier, it can be also assistant coach, and the players who stay about 3 yards, maybe five will be the max. The player, the ball carrier, is holding a shield or a step over an extended hand. On one hand, and the other he has a ball. Since it's a defensive drill, we don't really want him to hold on dearly to his life, but give some resistance there. The two defenders, they start swooping with their near foot from owning their leverage. And as the guy comes, the P1 executes the form tackle, striking with a near pec, near shoulder, make sure he works on a solid clamp. The other guy punches the ball out, and then he scoops it and scores. Then these guys rotate in, making sure each of them is on every station. Last but not least, is a Patriot 3-in-1. We have 3 guys about 3-4 yards apart, so P1, P2, and P3 on the sound, each of them. They start backpedaling very, very slowly. The coach throws the ball to either P2 or P1, so these guys who are on the edges. So they have to catch it cleanly, make an interception, and P3 he tomahawks chops from behind from one or the other guy, and the third player scoops the ball from the ground. This drill is rather complex. I stole from Coach Matt Patricia from one of his clinics, but once you invest in it, in teaching, and once the guys master it, I think it offers you a very, very high return from that. So you can really get all 3 drills from this one. Then once we complete the rotations, we transition into our tackling circuit. Again, this is a nice photo from our days with the Comets. So speed is great, but accuracy is final. Wyatt Earp. We've been using the shoulder tackling systems from USA Football, the advanced tackling system, and the basic one that was launched in collaboration with the Seahawks. So again, for us, it's critical to teach and reteach the fundamentals, right? The ideas of leverage, the profile, fighting drive tackle, fighting roll tackle. Again, we've done some studies. now it's going to be like 3 years that 75 to 85% of our missed tackles happens before the contact, so in the tracking phase or this critical preparation phase. So when you close the distance, when you're in this one-on-one battle versus the ball carrier, again, part of this our tackling circuit is also to prepare them for contact. Right? You don't want to go live there, but again, you want to make sure that they get into this fighting shape. And again, we adjust on a weekly basis. If there is certain areas of tackling that we need to add more, we may switch the drills we do. I think it's with the possibilities now, it's good to give the kids the drills in advance on huddle or just cut some clips from games and just show them, hey, this is what we're going to be working on, and this is how I want it done, just so they have a better idea of what we're doing. Again, pretty straightforward, the standard two-man tackling drill. These guys may, we have defender 1, defender 2, ball carrier, or you may start with a stationary coach. The guys are running, closing the distance, owning the leverage, and they, as they get closer, they are swooping with their near foot, or they may be shimming. So shimming is in a USA football terminology is a 2 feet foot fire, and swooping is the 1 foot 45-degree angle shuffle. And as these guys close the distance, you want them to tag off the ball carrier with 2 hands on your hip. As these guys become more proficient in it, the ball carrier may try to give them some resistance, may try to break the contain and get outside. This drill is also pretty much what happens on the kickoff and punt coverage. So you also get additional bonus there. We usually, when we're in season, we don't tackle. So this is for us. It's a tracking and preparation non-contact drill. Again, next one is the run and gather drill. So you may go without the obstruction as a basic version. So you have a ball carrier who alternates his movement technique. So he runs, then he's making a juke move. He's trying to simulate to making a cutback. The defender works downhill, tracks the near hip, making sure that he matches the movement. So as the guy is trying to make a juke move, he swoops with the near foot. And then he closes the distance, tags off with the 2 hands on the near hip. As they become more proficient in it, we like to add the obstruction. So it's either bags, you guys can work with trash cans or additional blockers. So you add the VDA components of vision, decision, action. And again, the defender has to make a decision. Can I make a tackle over here, or do I have to go over the top, right? So it's another drill that we like to do. As these guys become more proficient, you may also think about adding a force player from on the opposite side, so he tracks from the outside in. I'm going to show you the clips in a second. Last but not least is the band tackle drill, and this is a very, very small twist to the drills a lot of you do that can really reap great benefits. So you guys use the standing bags or step overs with a handle on top of it. If you guys have access to, ask your strength and conditioning coach or trainer for this, the heaviest power band you can find. And then as you guys put it through the loop, you guys can work on the, on tackling either from just, from one step, or we like to add the tracking component. So the defender start about 2-3 yards in. Our coach or our ball carrier takes our bag for a walk, and as he strike and with his near shoulder, the ball carrier is trying to rip this bag from him. So what's important there is that our defender works on his arm clamp, that he doesn't have flat hands on the bag, that he really controls the bag all the way to the ground. And you can work on the multiple types of tackles. You can work on the profile tackle, whether it's tight angle or wider angle. You can also work on a fine drive or fine roll tackle. And also you can alternate sides, and you can work on striking with your right shoulder or left shoulder. This is the summary. So I'm going to show you show you the film now. So I'm going to start sharing the film. So first, we're going to go through some of our clips of the turnover circuit. So this is one of the clips from Romania when we coach the guys for the Rebels. So we have a guy who hits the ball, making sure he screams the interception sound. The other guy catches it cleanly, secures the catch, goes there. As you see, some guys show up a little late. Boom, catches it, and just runs it back. So even if he doesn't tip it, we want to make sure that our player jumps as high as possible, and he blocks a little bit of the vision, makes it harder for the defender to tip it. The next drill. This is the Seattle Seahawks punch and form tackle. So as this ball carrier approaches, this defender executes a form tackle with striking here with his right shoulder. The other guy punches the ball. Then you'll see he scoops and recovers it. Boom. Again over here, so they can work both sides. This is the Patriots drill. So as you see, you'll see the three guys starting with backpedaling slowly. Boom, that on the sound. You'll see them backpedaling. Big guys do as well. One guy catches the ball, and the other guy punches it. And the third guy is gonna scoop. Boom. Oh, there we go. So the third guy scoops the ball. And I like this drill because it offers you a very good return on investment. A couple of the game clips. How does it translates to and relates to game day? So this is the video from the Dragons. We coach 9-man ball this year, and you will see that investing in it pays the dividends on game day. Playing the Rockets here, beat by our corner. Boom. You can see that, okay, everybody thinks it's a touchdown. Nope, not today. So we punch the ball out, and then we secure this fumble. We give it back to our offense. One thing I want to touch base on here. I'm going to show you the big pile drill. So this is a drill that we stole from Coach Gus, from Coach Kosmakos, from Towson. So you will see, first of all, for safety reasons, you want to match the players of a similar size. So they're going to be doing it with either TVs and linebackers or within their position group. So you have guys in 6-point stands, making sure they are close, helmets are tied, they have mouth guards in, boom. And the coaches, he just drop the ball, make sure that they locate it, they fight for it. And ideally, we want them to finish in a fetal position here. I mean, this was our mini camp last year, so they were actually learning this drill. But you can see this guy was a winner. Boom. So we want to make sure that they do it right, do it light. So the guys have limited reps here, just get better, making sure that they understand. Okay, tip ball drill. Yeah, I'm going to show you one more of our tip ball. So this is actually from 2019. We were with the Jaguars from Polish second division. We actually came there as a consultant in the season. So as you can see, nice tip ball interception on the goal line, huge momentum shift in that game. Really paid dividends for us. And that was something that was really rewarding to see that the guys who bought into that, who invested their time and you're working on it, really translated into game day. Okay, so I'm going to show you the couple of the videos on the tackling drills. So first, I'm going to show you the run and gather drill with obstruction. This is a bit of the version we'll update it. So again, you have an offensive player. We have three blockers and defender closing the distance. Boom, and making sure that as he gets here, he tags off with two hands. You can work it left to right and right to left. I'm going to show you the same drill that we do this year with the added force player. So this is the same drill from the fall this year. So we have our blockers. In Poland, we have our trash cans are a little smaller. So the defender, linebacker coming from the inside out, and our corner being a force player from the outside in. When they close the distance, and again, we would like this guy to be lower, making sure he's in a good tackling position, and just have the two hands on the near hip. That simulates the tackle, and that's good for us. If you can get in this position, you are very, very likely to make a tackle on game day. Again, a two-man tackle drill that we did this year, the Millennial Oklahoma, that uses the similar principles. We have three on three, and we have the bubble screen there. Shows you what happens. Boom. So we have the block destruction. And our defenders, they are tracking the respective hips. Make sure they own the leverage. This was a thud here, and they finish it. That's our variation of two-man tackle, and I want to finish with the band tackle. So we like to start with the bag being still, and as you see, the defender just strikes with the new shoulder, make sure he has a good clamp, and as the bag is being dragged, he still accelerates the feet. He keeps his feet moving. He keeps his head tight. So that's important there. What you will see here is the variation of this drill, but we like to take our bag for a walk. So you'll see number 99 being a tackler. He boom, he strikes it. We overemphasize the acceleration post contact. I mean, those bags are very, very light, and that's you tackle it, you fly by it. But again, when you work against a strong running back, you want to make sure that as you tackle that you keep those feet moving. I'm going to show you one of our clips from this year, again from Fall of the Dragons, how we translated to a fourth down stop. So again, it's fourth and something. Oh, can you finish here? Boom, we strike with a new shoulder, and then again we drive them back, right? So we want to make sure that we maintain the clamp. We have our hands are very, very active. Huge stop for us. Fourth down, took something away from it. So again, the biggest benefits of using those circuits, they are time efficient. They focus on the critical skill development. Again, you may face a bit of inertia, and you'll have to teach your players and also coaches, hey, this is why we do it. Those skills matters. And again, you have to be respectful of your role within the coaching staff. And ultimately, it's unless you're the head coach, and even if you're a defensive coordinator, it's still your head coach's program to run. So you may be able to incorporate some of that in the spring football, or some parts of it during your off-season conditioning. Again, I hope you guys learned something from it. And if you guys want to reach out, that's my email, and there's my Twitter handle. Thank you guys for attending today. Hope you guys have a wonderful holiday season, and hope you guys have a great 2021.